Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This one is a little bit different. We've never actually done a question and answer video. All you guys are super nosy when it comes to comments in the questions, but we love it, we appreciate it, we like sharing our lives and showing you guys what we get up to. So here's a little bit more into our life.
If you're new around here, we actually started traveling in early 2020 and initially thought it was probably going to be about a year or so that we'd travel for. And then after about a year, we just thought, oh, we'll just keep going. Actually, no, It didn't take us a year. It probably took us like a couple of months to realise that we just wanted to keep going. And nearly 5 years later, here we are. So we were only 23 years old when we left home.
And that was just about 5 years ago. So now 28 and 27, turning 28 very soon. Let's get straight into a bit of a juicy topic, and it's our caravan. We get questions, why haven't you done a walkthrough around your caravan? And the biggest thing we can say for that is we don't have a caravan deal. We got, I think it was what, $5,000 discount?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
They just helped us in freighting it really from Townsville down to Brisbane to pick up, and we got a pretty good relationship with them, and we were just more than happy to actually get a caravan that was our exact layout, exactly what we wanted, and something that we could take everywhere. It's fully off-road.
Yeah, and we found it in under 3 weeks, because that was the turnaround that we had. We had another deal that kind of went sour, or left a sour taste in our mouth anyway, but we'll get into that later. The reason why we haven't done a walkthrough is because we're not sponsored. We don't want our travels to be about the caravan and what this caravan and why this one is better than the others. We want to be able to show you how you can go and tackle the tracks around Australia, go get stuck into it, have a good time and not wreck your gear.
For us, this is our home, and if you've been following along since the start, you'll know that we used to have a 2012 Triton and a 20-year-old caravan that we used to travel in, and took us everywhere. It took us like all the same places that we're traveling now, except we didn't take it on the Gib and we didn't take it out to like Ningaloo Station and stuff. So we very much don't want to tell you that you have to buy something like this, and that's why we haven't done a walk around.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of work really if we're not like sponsored or anything.
The main reason we upgraded was purely for more space, more room and more comfort. Some little things that you don't really get to see every day is I used to hit my head every single day in our last caravan. I still hit my head in this caravan quite often. But every day I was hitting my head on the air conditioner, lights, getting in and out of the bathroom, like all the time. So being able to have space, a little bit more modern. Yeah. But
still, our caravan now, I would say, is pretty modest. We don't have a huge battery system. It's not crazy. It's a very affordable off-road option for lots of people. I think it's this type of caravan's worth, what, about 95,000?
I was going to say 85?
85? I don't know.
Yeah.
We got ours like off the shelf. We didn't like change anything or have a say in anything actually. It was just there ready for us. So
all these fancy colours and everything in the van. Chelsea didn't pick, just straight off the shelf. But it's worked awesome for us too. You sort of, it was such an upgrade for us that it didn't matter that it didn't have 1 million amp of lithium and induction cooking and all of that stuff. That stuff's fantastic, but it's not essential to travel Australia in. But if it is something that you guys really want, and we get 300 comments saying, Chelsea, put together a walkthrough video, then I'll put Chelsea to work and we'll get one happening. And at the end of the day, that's why we haven't done a walkthrough video, is because we don't have a deal. We want to be transparent with you guys and say that we love a product because we love it. We don't want to be promoting it because we've got a $10,000 discount and we have to put out content every week, every month saying how good our product is.
And a bit of a juicy question that we got for a long time and we're still getting is, what happened to your original caravan manufacturer? And we're not going to name and shame anyone, but we did earlier in the year, about April, do a massive U-turn. We were in New South Wales and on our way down to Victoria to actually pick up a new caravan from a different manufacturer, and then it went sour pretty quickly. There was no contract. We'd been asking for a contract for like a year. 12
months at least. Yeah.
And then the prices just kept going up crazy, like more than we could afford.
Yeah, they sold us the glossy brochure to start with and we're like, yep, we can do this for X amount. And it wasn't until they actually started really thinking about it, they go, oh, it's going to be more, and then more delays. They kept putting it off on us.
Yeah, and we just couldn't do it any longer because we just felt like we were getting taken for a ride.
Yeah.
So we canned that like overnight. It was very stressful because we had no idea what we were going to do, and it changed like our whole year's plans for this year. But it's all been for the best because we are super happy in what we've got right now.
The biggest red flag when it was coming to this manufacturer was that they kept delaying the date of the caravan. It started off as February, it got pushed to April, then it got pushed to June, and we heard nothing from them for a while, and we really pushed for it. Then they said, oh yeah, we're coming out with a rebrand. It's going to be October now. And we were like, well, we just can't do this. And along with all the delays, it was price increase after price increase. And we just thought, well, we would much rather have a caravan that we own, that we like or we love.
Yeah.
And we can show you guys the good, the bad, and the ugly, and not have to hide things from everybody.
Because could you imagine if we did like a caravan deal and we couldn't afford it, and then we also had to go out and try and get content as well, and then something goes wrong and you can't even show that happens. Looking back, we really dodged a bullet there for sure.
Yeah, it's an absolute blessing in disguise.
Hey, you guys going to start a family on the road?
We get this question all the time. When are you having kids? When are you making a family? When are you getting married? Bryce, when are you going to propose? There was even a time that somebody wanted to use us having a proposal for their own content.
Yeah, for a TV show. Like, how staged and cringe is that? Oh my god!
Anyway, you're going to hear it straight from Chelsea's mouth.
Everyone, please back off. Nah, not really. I'm not really fussed on getting engaged anytime soon. It's just not a priority for me. I actually picture having kids and being in a home or a block of land or something way before getting married. It's just not a priority. Maybe one day, but at the moment, what's it going to change?
Yeah, and coming up this March, we've been 5 years full-time in the van, like 5 complete years. But that'll also be more than half of our relationship has been in a little box travelling around Australia together than not in a little box travelling around Australia.
And I mean, if we haven't killed each other yet, that's probably pretty good.
And a little piece of paper probably isn't going to change too much.
For kids, story. We met someone last year and I think they honestly thought I was pregnant. Like, maybe I was just a bit bloated or something that day. And I had a wine. We were out at a pub. And they were like, oh, good thing you're drinking because we thought you were pregnant. And they looked me up and down. I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Juice is enough of a child for us at the moment. And then I guess Chelsea's got to look after me and make sure I don't hurt myself. So I think she's got her hands full.
But yes, we will have children one day. Just, I don't really want kids anytime too soon.
Yeah. It's definitely like 10-year plan. 10-year plan.
10 years? You just said I was nearly 28. Yeah. Does that mean have kids in 10 years or within the next 10 years?
Within, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like straight away, but I don't know. Who knows? We don't really know where we're going to be heading later next year or anything like that.
Or tomorrow.
So to be planning kids and marriage and, I don't know, engagement, wedding, that's way too much for us at this stage.
Yeah, that's too hard. Has having the beautiful pup with you made a huge difference to where you go? Yes.
No.
Oh.
It has, but it hasn't.
Yeah, not in a bad way though.
Yeah.
I just mean, like, obviously you're not staying in national parks, but there's ways around it. We will park outside of a national park, like at another campground 30 k's up the road, and we'll just day trip to them. So you just got to be a little bit smarter than...
Yeah, there's lots of national parks with caravan parks and camping just outside. Only a few weeks ago we were at the Parongarups. I keep saying that one wrong. We stayed at the caravan park outside the national park. We could day trip in, leave Juice in the van with the aircon on. We did the same thing, Carnarvon Gorge, Ningaloo. We were staying in the Exmouth so we could day trip in. And Juice is good for 5 or 6 hours during the day. We take him for a massive run around in the morning, make sure he's got food and water. We do dog camera on so we can check him on our phones, and he hasn't limited us to what we can get up to.
So on that, the dog camera, that's something we also get so many questions about. It's called Eufy, and we got it from Bunnings. It's pretty affordable. I think it was under $100 or something. Yeah. And we just plug it into power, and we usually actually have it sitting up here, and it pretty much gets a view of like the whole caravan. But every time we look at the camera, he's asleep on the bed. He won't chew his toys, he won't do anything.
He just hangs out waiting for us to get back.
Oh, it's kind of sad, but...
No, but people go to work every day and leave their dogs for 8-10 hours in the laundry, in the backyard, doing the exact same thing. Juice just hangs out in the van and he loves it.
This is all he knows as well. So when we bought Juice, he was 8 weeks old. We bought him in New South Wales and he went into a caravan straight away.
Yeah.
And I feel like if he was in a house, he'd probably be a bit freaked out because he just doesn't know.
He doesn't know any different. We go into houses and he goes, geez, my parents are poor. They've just got a caravan. Goes,
so
look
much
at all this space.
So much room for activities.
And on Juice, Juice is a toy cavoodle. So his mum was a cavoodle, which is a King Charles Cavalier cross poodle, and his dad is a toy poodle. So his mum was, I think, 8.5 kilos.
Yeah.
Dad was
3.5.
So just that's like a little mental image of the different sizes. And Juice is about 8.5 kilos.
Perfect size for the caravan, and we did a lot of research before we bought him. What type of dog we wanted, something that wasn't going to lose hair, and something that could cuddle in bed with us. Not that he sleeps in there every night, but he can hop up on the bed. He's not that real doggy dog. You're not got hair everywhere. Yeah, pretty good breed, I'd say.
Yeah, great for a caravan. All right, quick intermission because Chelsea needs a top up before we get into the next bit.
Thank you. It's actually quite nerve-wracking talking like this to the camera.
You don't like it?
Not really.
I feel very vulnerable telling everybody about everything, eh?
Vulnerable?
Yeah.
Just don't tell everyone what time it is.
10:30 in the morning.
10:45, thank you. Okay, Juicy, and not the dog this time. Not you, mate.
Juicy. I'm interested to know, as my wife and I are nearing 60, me mainly wondering, besides Bryce being a rich plumber and Chelsea a rich barista, how did you get to buy a caravan and ute worth what my wife has in her super at your ages? Have you another income besides YouTube videos and the part-time jobs when money is needed? Well, like the comment said, we make money off of YouTube. We work part-time, so we do stop and work from time to time.
It's just social media keeps us going, like, for weekly expenses, I guess. Covers that kind of stuff. If we want to save for something like a new car or caravan, anything major, we definitely do have to stop and work to like save money. Yeah, we do some occasional ads. We tend to try and do 60 to 90 second ads during a YouTube video. You guys can skip it, double tap the 10-second thing to skip through it on YouTube. But it's just a great way that we can supplement our income, because YouTube can pay great, but it can also pay pretty average from time to time. So if we do an ad for somebody else's product, say this wine glass for example, talk about that for 60 seconds and they can pay you for it. So occasionally we do that kind of thing too. Not sponsored, by the way. Definitely not. This is from Coles when they do like the Flybuys points. Like 5 years ago. But on the part-time job, we get this question all the time, is how do you find work while you're travelling? Finding work has been probably the easiest thing, besides like I'll find work over trying to make travel plans, trying to book caravan parks. That stuff is nightmare work. Finding work, all we've done in the past is call different businesses, ring up, say, hey, have you got any work? One of my jobs, he actually goes, are you any good? And I don't know how you answer said,
that. No. And I said, oh, I'm alright. I'm not going to blow your mind and tell you I'm the best plumber ever, because you set yourself up for failure. The way I would find work is go onto a community Facebook page. So when we were about to come into Exmouth, I got on Facebook and Exmouth community and just posted on there and said that I was available these days, this time, barista, hospitality experience, and just set it out really clearly what your intentions are. And for us, that you're going to knock it over. Oh. Sorry. Don't take the wine away. For us, we just say that we're going to be staying somewhere
8 weeks or however long, and we just tell them straight away this is what we're doing. So then you're not getting to like that awkward conversation a month into work saying, oh, I've only got 2 weeks left or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's best to be completely open book with them. We've done that multiple times now, and we've always stayed longer than we said because they've either had more work, they didn't want us to leave, or we didn't want to leave. Another thing is you don't have to post on the pages. You can also see businesses put job ads on those pages to try and get local people to work for them. So it's a great way to just chime in, grab a job, be open with them, and make some money for a short period.
And the more rural towns, the better we found.
Yeah.
Because 9 times out of 10 they might pay a little bit more because they're desperate for people. They're happy just to get someone in for 8 weeks. They don't really mind if you're there long term or not.
And they look after you really well,
Yeah.
because they don't want you to leave. They want you to hang around for as long as possible.
Something that we don't do is go on to the job seeking websites like Indeed, Seek. I don't know what the other ones are. We just don't use them.
Yeah, we've never had any success from it.
No.
We have applied for countless jobs in the past as you're coming up to a place. Like I remember trying Broome.
Yeah.
We applied for heaps of jobs in Broome because
No one
we're like,
replied.
yeah, we want to work here, and we got nothing back.
But if you approach a business in person and you're not just a number, then we've been sweet.
There's a bit more personality to it. Another interesting one that I'd never really thought about, and we met a couple just recently. He uses a job agency. Oh. So he is it's Vicky and Lockie, by the way. Shout out, guys.
Oh, yeah.
He's a operator, and he uses I think it's a recruitment agency, and he gives them a heads up when he's coming in and out of different areas, see if there's any work around, and they line him up. So I know that that's a successful way that some people have found work, and we found ours in different ways. How much does it cost week to week to live on the road?
Our first year of travel, keep in mind there's been inflation since, was like $500 a week.
Yeah, so we had an expenses book. We'd write everything that we paid for, and we were like $550, I think $575 a week for the first year. Yeah. Mind you, it was COVID. There was like fuel was $1 a litre. It was unreal.
And we were probably a lot tighter than what we are now. But we didn't have any money coming in back then unless we stopped and worked. And COVID, there wasn't really hospitality or anything for me. So,
we both saved up. I think we both had, what was it, 15 grand each? I think when we first set off, so we saved up and we were like, yep, let's see how long we can get this to last, see how long we can travel with off of this money before we have to work or before we have to hit our parents up for fuel money to drive home.
We would not have even done that.
No, I was never going to get to that. But recently, expenses have gone up, insurances alone. So we didn't really think about this when we upgraded car and caravan. Insurance goes up a hell of a lot. Things like Starlink.
That's $190 a month now, Starlink.
Like it does hurt when it comes out the bank, but then you look at how many like benefits there are with it as well.
When you're not dealing with the TV buffering every 5 seconds. Or like when you can just make a call, text someone easy, and it just works in the middle of nowhere, that's when it's worth its money.
So things like that have definitely contributed to our weekly expenses going up. So we don't do an expense book anymore, but I think, what would you say?
Probably around $1,000 a week.
Yeah, maybe $1,000 to $1,100 a week.
And I'm sure some are less, some are more, just depends.
Yeah. And that's including like a fair few caravan park stays, but if we're trying to free camp more, that obviously does come down a hell of a lot too.
Yeah. We try and low cost or free camp as much as possible. Just don't really like caravan parks that much. Oh, it's hard. Some are like beautiful, amazing coconut palms and cans. I could stay there my whole life. No.
Yeah, you use that for the kids' water slides. But like the splash park ones, not the scary ones.
But then you go to some other caravan parks and you're just jam-packed in and it's a nightmare, so yeah. And while we were talking about money, we had a question about insurance. Somebody actually said that they were with RAC and RAC wouldn't cover them if they were travelling or working interstate.
Yeah.
I don't know the ins and outs of that, but...
So the best thing that we've found so far, and it's always been a recommendation from somebody else, is use an insurance broker. You can have a proper conversation with them, tell them exactly what you're up to, what you're doing. There's nothing hidden. With lots of the, I don't know, big insurance companies and things like that, all you do is you fill out an online form. There's no personality to it. It's very cut and dry, but it leaves you open to
I guess
failing.
failure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm always scared that something's going to happen, and they're like, oh, but in the fine print, or you didn't say that you weren't in, I don't know, South Australia for more than 2 months of the year, or I don't know. So
You said you garage your car every night. Well, technically...
That's a lie.
Well, it's off the street most of the time. But yeah, it's just one of them things that we found. Insurance broker, you can talk to somebody, tell them what you want, tell them what you need, and they can shop around for the best advice or best option for you.
Hi, we've seen you stay at gravel pits for free camping on occasion. How do you find these? Are they mapped out on an app? We've only found them once we've driven past them.
Well, after travelling for quite a few years, you get really good at finding patches of dirt that you can pull up in. We've found that free camps are becoming fewer and far between, and you definitely have to be a little bit sneakier, smarter. You have to have a little bit of cheek as well, because the cheekier you are, the more money you can save, essentially. On the gravel pits, and Chelsea's got a great eye as we're going down the road.
Yeah. If we know that we're going to be free camping a night, we are always on the lookout during the day for a free camp or like a roadside stop or something that we can stay at. Say a few days ago we were down near Margaret River and we couldn't get a booking for the night, so we literally have to free camp somewhere. And Margaret River is such like a free camping like hotspot, and you're going to get told off. Like, the councils are so onto you. So for that day when we're driving around, we were just looking for like patches of dirt off little side streets, and we found somewhere awesome. Yeah. So
every time we're driving, Chelsea will be on the prowl. She'll be like, that's a gravel pit, that's a patch of dirt, we can camp there, no one's going to see us there. And yeah, we've never had too much of an issue. There's always somewhere to park, but the cheekier you can be, the better the camp spot.
But as well, we are fully self-contained. We shut the grey water tank. Obviously, we use our own toilet, own shower. We leave no trace anywhere. And we're not doing this 7 nights a week. Most times we have something planned. But when it's coming up to school holidays, we're in peak time of year right now, down in the southwest, like...
It's going to get challenging.
Yeah, you're going to have to free camp and do the dodgy a couple of nights.
Another question on the gravel pit topic as well. When you free camp, do you go exploring and leave your van? If you do leave your van, are you concerned about theft?
If we're at a free camp and it's not like a designated free camp that's on like wiki camps or anything like that, I won't leave Juice on his own in the van. Like if we're going away for the day.
Like to go explore a national park or anything like that. We have done it occasionally, but we're very circumstantial. Yeah. If it looks safe, it seems like there's enough good traffic around. We have quite a few safety measures on our caravan. We tend to lock everything. Boots, hatches, everything gets locked.
Window shades and everything go up.
Yeah, we have a lock for the front of the caravan. We also have a dead switch for the blackjack trailer mate. Just things that make stealing the caravan difficult.
Yeah. So it's because they're a free camp or something, I feel like it's only going to be opportunists that would steal your caravan. It's not like you're parked in a front yard without your caravan locked up for like 3 weeks and someone scoped you out. Yeah. It would have to be opportunist, and we just try and minimise the risk.
Yeah. The harder you can make it to steal your caravan in 15 minutes, the more chance no one's going to target it.
Put the legs down on the caravan, put the awning out and tie the awning down and stuff. Yeah.
But that's not to say people aren't going to still get around it. If they want it bad enough, they're going to take it. Yeah. And that's why you have insurance. You make sure, you don't leave too much valuable stuff in the caravan. Realistically, the most valuable thing in this caravan is the TV. Oh yeah, the dog. He's normally with us anyway. But like, we have very minimal camera equipment that we leave in the caravan. Yeah. Feel free to grab my undies. They're not worth much online.
They got holes in them, dude.
I've tried selling them. They don't get much.
Nobody's interested in them.
No, it's a shame too. They're pink and fluffy.
Could have been another income stream.
What do you do over the peak seasons, especially Christmas is fast approaching?
We don't book anything until we have to. We're really bad like that. We only booked something in for Christmas about a week ago.
Yeah. And that was purely because we were already staying there, so it worked out a treat.
Yeah, and we just asked the lady, it was a hip camp, and we just asked her, are you free for, like, have you got any spots for Christmas? And she did, so it just happened to work out.
Yeah.
But usually we just wing it. And I feel like it's going to be, if we tried to book Christmas 3 months in advance, I feel like everything's going to be booked up. But if you leave it a bit later, people tend to do cancellations, something might have come up.
You might not be able to get the front side at the caravan park, but you'll find you get to go explore another different area. You might be 25, 35 minutes away, but you might find that you're saving $40 a night as well. So for what you're saving and camping a little bit further out, you can day trip, you can still spend the money with fuel and still have just as good a time. How do you plan and how far in advance your destinations when you're travelling around? Well,
again,
we
not very.
don't really, we have a rough plan.
Yeah.
We'll go, so for example this year we knew that we were going to be working in Exmouth from July, and went, okay, we've got 3 months to get from Brisbane around through the Gib, through Darwin, do all of that, and then be at work in Exmouth. So we sort of just roughly worked out some days of what areas we wanted to be in.
I think we've just booked major, like, say peak time of year, we booked Darwin, we were there in school holidays, but again, we only booked that like 2 weeks out and we're fine. And again, we just try and pick things that you don't have to book long in advance, say like a hip camp or something, a low cost camp or something that might not be super popular. We try and avoid the really busy areas in really busy times of year.
But we also have the luxury of not being on a time limit a lot of the time. For example, my parents want to travel and do up the middle from South Australia and do a lot of the West Coast. So we've helped them plan a lot of that stuff, and they have to get bookings because they want to be in Broome to do horizontal falls, Exmouth to do whale sharks. So it's things that you have to plan, and as long as you've got some dates booked in, there's lots of things you can just make happen in between. Yeah,
book the majors and fill in all around it.
How did you two meet? There's like 3 different versions of this one.
The favourite version is we holidayed, our families both holidayed at the same caravan park in South Australia on the Yorke Peninsula, Port Vincent.
For years, for like, what, 15 years?
And my dad's been going there since he was a kid.
Yeah.
So, and then like, took us as a kid, and that's how I met Bryce.
Yeah. The quick version, nightclub in town in Adelaide called Red Square.
But we knew each other from the beach.
Yeah.
But we probably just never caught up because we probably just didn't have the confidence to ever talk until we were in a nightclub. Yeah.
Now this is a question for me. Thank you, Naomi, for this one. How do you stay up with your beauty routine while on the road? Brow wax, hairdresser, do you just book in anywhere or do you do it yourself? Well, I am all natural. No, this one's for Chelsea.
So, hairdresser. I just pick any random hairdresser. I used to have like an ombre blonde look, and that was a lot more maintenance. That was like every 6 months maybe. Probably needed to be more, but I'd like put it off because it was quite expensive. But now I've just gone box dye brunette, and then you can just pick up, anytime you go to the shops you can just pick up some box dyes. Takes me 3 boxes to do my head, but it's still a lot cheaper than going to a hairdresser. And also you get a little bit nervous trying different hairdressers while you're traveling because you don't know what they're like, and you just gotta wing it really.
Bit of a gamble.
It is a gamble.
Yeah.
A little hot tip though, if you like to get your nails done, so I used to get gel nail polish done quite often at like a salon, and I found a gel nail kit online on Amazon for like $100 or less.
It wasn't crazy, I don't reckon.
And it came with a few different colours. So now I've got like the little light, and I just paint my toenails and nails every now and then. And because it's gel, it lasts maybe 5 weeks at a time. And I mean, the ones in the store would probably last like 8 weeks, but at least you can still get that same salon look, but be
salon quality.
Salon quality, and be in your little tiny home. Also, I don't get my brows done because my eyebrows, when I told Bryce this last night, he's like, what? But they don't grow. This is it. I might pluck a little rogue hair every few months, but
tell them the real reason why.
I think I overplucked them as a child, and now like they just don't grow. Like a teenager, I just went crazy with the plucking to make sure they were perfect, and now they just don't do anything. So is that, I'm not encouraging you to overpluck, but low maintenance.
There has been a lot of
mean girl behaviour.
Yeah, conversations on YouTube and even in comments about clickbait. I don't quite get it. We clickbait videos
to an extent.
To an extent. Yeah. We try not to do it too crazy, but at the end of the day, it's no different to what TV shows do. They leave you on cliffhangers.
Watching The Bachelor and being like, oh my gosh, this next week's going to happen, or drama,
And for probably 80% of the people watching this video, we don't make the clickbait for you guys because we know you're going to watch every week, and we appreciate and love the support every week. But it's that extra 20% of views that we can get from
like
people that wouldn't normally watch the video. If we can hook them in, catch them, bait them into a view.
Tap into a different audience to be like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting that's going to happen. And we did hear something a while ago, some people that we watch, they're Canadian, and they were like, I wouldn't call it clickbait, I would call it focusing on the most exciting part of that video and like honing in on it. I don't know, like titling it. Say you've got a half an hour video, well, what do I title it? Like, I'm going to pick the most exciting part in that half an hour and emphasize it. So
yeah, and a lot of it is watching successful channels. We watch a lot of YouTube, and we're very picky on what we watch as well. And not saying that we're a successful channel or we're anything massive, but lots of the successful channels will create a thumbnail and put a lot of effort into it to lure a view. And we thought, why not try that and see how it works for us.
This leads us into the nitty-gritty questions that might not be for everyone, but I know there will be some people that will find this very beneficial. Phone plans to begin. We do something a little bit different with our phone plan. So we've got the Starlink, so that's our internet, and then Bryce is with Telstra on quite a decent plan, and then I'm with a company called Amasim, which uses Optus towers. My plan is super cheap, $30 a month, just to get me by when we're out and about. And then like I said, Bryce's plan's a little bit better for when I don't have signal. I can use Bryce's.
It's more just so that we can cover all bases. Lots of places in WA you get Telstra coverage and you don't get Optus coverage, whereas on the East Coast there is a lot more Optus coverage than there is Telstra, it seems. So it's a good way to always have signal when you're going out and about. You still need to have a phone plan for when you use Starlink. Starlink just won't let you make calls over their network without having a carrier like Telstra, Optus, or in Chelsea's case, Amasim. Simple one, mail. There's a bit more to that question, but we're just going to talk about how we get our mail while on the road. We like to online shop, especially with all the Black Friday sales and everything that's just been on, eBay, everything like that. We've got a Australia Post account, so you can set up a My Post account. It'll give you a parcel collect number that you can add onto the end of your packages. On the app, you can actually select different post offices that you can get packages sent to, and it's actually quite simple once you start looking at the app. As well as post offices will hold your post, they say for 2 weeks. I reckon they push it out to about 4 weeks. They generally call you about the 2 week mark, and then if you can get a hold of them, you can be like, hey, I'm traveling, can you give us an extra few days? And they're generally pretty good about it. We've also had a few times have already left where we've been and the post was delayed. What another option is, you can call Australia Post, give them the tracking number, and they can redirect it to like an internal transfer, so you can get it sent from Margaret River all the way to Exmouth potentially, and it'll only cost you an extra $7.
Bryce, can you always find Cooper's Pale Ale and mild on the road?
Yes. Yeah. Any good bottle shop will stock Cooper's, and if they don't, well, they're not a very good bottle shop. I have not had a problem finding a Cooper's green can around Australia ever. And it's probably because it's Australia's best beer. Everyone likes to say one of the ones with 4X's, or it might have a marlin fish on it, is the best. Well, the green can's made in South Australia, so they're the best.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
Is Bryce right or wrong?
Yeah.
I reckon you're going to have a few challenging you.
No, not if they want a real beer. Alright, we're going to pump through a couple of questions, and here you go, Chelsea. If you had your time again, would you still go adventuring with the caravan?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you going to decorate inside the caravan?
For Christmas?
No, just to give it a homely feel.
I was under the impression we had already finished decorating. But if we're talking about Christmas, I've got 2 Christmas decorations.
Yep. This one right here.
That's Jeremy.
This is our little Christmas elf. And
One that Aubrey, my niece, made us, so
yeah. That'll do.
That'll
And I've
do.
let Chelsea have 2 plants for this week, but she's got by the end of the week she's got to get rid of one of them.
That's news to me.
Yeah, I think
We're done decorating. I like having nice bedspread, couple plants in the bathroom. I don't want it to be too busy because we're in such a small space. I feel like it's a bit crowded or overwhelming if there's too much going on. Yeah, that's my view on it anyway.
yeah.
But then again, I do look at some other people's caravans that have got like pretty baskets and things around, and I love it. I just don't think
It's for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, where to next?
Maybe to stop and work somewhere again after Christmas in the new year. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
We're still in the planning stage, and like we said earlier, we don't like to plan, so...
Are you coming to Tasmania?
No.
Not for a while.
anytime soon.
Yeah.
Nah.
It is on the list, but it's just not high up on the list.
No.
I think it would be really cool, but we've actually struggled with the cold, and we're in summer down here at the moment after being up in Exmouth and after being up in far north Queensland and all of that for the last couple of years.
So we couldn't imagine how cold it would be right now in Tasmania. And we're not really cold weather people.
No.
Also, I'm sorry if you can hear some like humming in the background. Is it like a generator on or something?
What is your dream van and tow vehicle?
I don't know about caravan, but tow vehicle, probably like an F-truck. Is it F350?
Yeah, you do like the F350s, don't
Yeah,
you?
that would be massive though.
Yeah, a bit of like a mum bus around the place. I don't think I really have a dream vehicle. I mean, I really like our Ranger. I know that's pretty like basic, but I don't know, it suits what we need. I like the idea of having like an Isuzu truck, but it also just means so much more work.
I'd be too scared.
And Chelsea wouldn't be able to get anything out of the caravan, so it'd be like, Bryce, can you get the chairs out? Bryce, can you get the skateboards and all the other bits and pieces? And yeah, next thing you know, you've got like a 6-foot step ladder that you've got to use to get in and out of. And
but it would probably be like that for me in like an F-truck too.
Yeah.
Depends how jacked up you have it. Like you see people with like 3 step ladders.
Yeah.
They have to move around their like trucks and stuff.
Sometimes bigger is not always better. Hey.
Keep telling yourself that, mate.
How much longer, and do you have an end date?
No, I don't have an end date. I think we're just going to keep travelling until we're sick of it. Just going to keep trying to save money.
Yeah.
And yeah, just pull along doing what we're doing.
Yeah, at this stage, life's too good. And it's not broken, so why fix it? If we get sick of travelling, we'll definitely pull up stumps. But what we found is every time we do stop, we get the itch to go travelling again.
Yeah.
And when we are travelling, you get the itch to go get some routine. And
grass is always greener on the other side. And I think if we stop, we will, like right now, we'd regret it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we do have plans to get a property, get some land, like do some building stuff, that type thing in the future. But at the moment, we're pretty happy doing what we're doing.
Well, that probably wraps it up. That's
Yeah.
a good end point.
Yeah, if you do have any more questions, make sure to drop them in the comments below. If you do want a walkthrough video, make sure we get 300 of those, because otherwise we probably won't do one. But we do appreciate everyone watching. We hope we've given you some information to help you guys get travelling, or if you are travelling, get work and different bits and pieces.
If you've enjoyed this one, please make sure to like and subscribe. That very much helps our channel to grow. And we'll catch you next week for a regular upload.
Catch you later.